Today, I want to talk about a modern horror author, Brian Keene. He's more widely known for his horror novels. He's written a lot of them, and I've enjoyed pretty much all of them that I've read. But today, I want to talk about a short story. Specifically, I'm going to talk about a story in the Earthworm Gods series that he has. As of right now, the series comprises 2 novels and 1 short story collection. The collection came last, and it is titled Earthworm Gods: Selected Scenes from the End of the World. The gist of the series, without going into detail, is that one day it starts raining and it doesn't stop. Different areas of the world flood as the rain keeps coming. And as the rain and flooding is happening, the surface is kind of swarmed by earthworms. And as it continues, they get larger and larger. You start with regular earthworms, just a large number outside, and then you get like city-sized earthworms. So that's sort of the gist of the series. Now the collection, not sure if it was a contest or a Patreon thing or some sort of add-on, but fans had the opportunity to be characters in short stories based in the Earthworm Gods world. I believe that Keene would email or talk with the people, kind of get their names, where they live, where they work, various information, right? Like, what's your favorite music, favorite food? What are some of your hobbies? And so he would use some of this personal information to create a character and write a short story set in the world of Earthworm Gods. And the story I want to talk about today is one of these stories. It is titled Up a Pole Without a Paddle. I'm going to talk about the story. I am going to spoil it. It's only like 3 pages long, so it's very short. Most of these are pretty short stories. I'm going to talk about the plot of the story, and then I'm going to talk about what I really like about it and why it's kind of stuck with me. Because just going through the plot is going to seem simple, basic, but I'm going to talk about what I like about it after. In the meantime, have you read any Brian Keene works? Are you a fan of him? If you have, let me know below what are some of your favorites. If you've read the Earthworm Gods Selected Scenes from the End of the World, let me know what you think about the book. Okay, that's enough stalling. I'm going to go forward and talk about the story now. Up a Pole Without a Paddle takes place in the UK, and our main character is Phil, and he works for the phone company. Right, running phone lines, the phone poles and stuff like that. And so in the story, he and a couple other co-workers have been called out to an area because with all the flooding, the ground is real soggy and wet and loose, and so they're attributing that to a lot of telephone poles being knocked over. So he and 2 co-workers are sent out to work on it. They get out to the area where they're supposed to be working, and they're finding that there are large burrows in the soggy ground around where the telephone poles have been coming down. And so as they start to dig deeper holes for the new telephone poles, they're finding that the ground is just too wet and mushy and it keeps caving off. And so they're getting ready to call it in and call it a day when they are attacked by worms, large worms. His 2 co-workers are killed pretty quickly, and Phil climbs up a telephone pole to escape the worms. And so the worms crowd around the pole and they try to climb it, but it's too slick, right? Like they're covered in slime. They're used to burrowing. They cannot go up the pole like a snake would be able to. So they're kind of just hanging out on the ground, waiting for him to come down or fall, or maybe for the rain for it to flood high enough. for them to get to him. So he's trapped on the pole. He can't go anywhere. He cannot get a hold of anyone. And there are giant man-eating worms circling the telephone pole on the ground. Finally, after a time, the worms begin burrowing in the ground beneath the telephone pole. And like I said before, the ground is real wet and unstable already, and so they're giving it less support. And at the end of the story, the telephone pole does fall with Phil. And that, the shortness of the story and the simplicity of it is why I like it. It's such a simple concept that, yeah, like it's so simple it almost smacks you in the head. You have a regular guy, right? He's not a writer, he's not a lawyer, he's not a superhero. This is just a guy out doing like a trade, manual labor type job, and something crazy happens, and he deals with it as best he can, but that only prolongs the inevitable end. Again, let me know what you think of Keene. What are some of what you think are his best works? And let me know what you think of this story or this book if you've read it, or the Earthworm God series if you've read that. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.